Hello. I'm back in World of Warcraft. I've been whispered sometimes about how and what I'm doing as a healer because I've been beating a fair few of them over my time, and I've actually at a point I had like 5 healing priests, and yeah, I've always played my priest since classic. So, but yesterday, you know, there was, I got into a group and there was already a disc in it. So, yeah, it was like who's the better disc, in a way. Uh, and he was good. I'll give him that. But I think I did something better. As you can maybe see, I got a little more than he did. And it's marginal, I know, but you want the marginals to be on your side. Plus, if you look at it, he's got like 40% of his healing done with shields. Now, and then the next closest thing is 24% Aegis, and then penance on 16%. That's his top three. They're not really balanced. It just shows off he's using shields only. And shields is your bread and butter. So there's nothing wrong with using shields. It should be your bread and butter. But he's not healing much with it because shields don't heal. And if there's a lot of damage going in, that's a little bit bad. Now, I have 29% as my bread and butter powered shields, so I'm shielding also. But on 21% I got flash heals and penance. Now flash heals is an expensive heal normally, but there's a little trick for that. He if you go down further in it, you can see on 6th place he's using Halo, and he's used that 84 times. And Halo is, I don't like it in a way. It says here creates a ring of holy light of holy energy around you that quickly expands and grows in power up to 30 yards. So 30 yards heals allies up to 39,000. But the cooldown is 40 seconds. 40-second cooldown. That's a lot in a fight, in my opinion. Now I'm using instead Divine Star, which got 15-second cooldown. And that Divine Star moves forward in 24 yards, healing all allies for only about 9,000, which is not much. So his spell is clearly the most powerful one, but mine's ready every 15 seconds, so I can blast that out a couple of times. Now, you'd say he'd still maybe just win on that mine gathered up is not as great as his, but I've got one extra little trump up my card because my Divine Star procs a lot with Surge of Light, and that gives your healing spells and smite have 8% chance to make your next flash heal instant and cost no mana, can accumulate up to 2 charges. Because of I use that, whenever I use it every 15 seconds, I get 2 free flash heals if I actually hit anybody, of course, and I tend to hit a lot with it because I'm aiming it in the direction of the DPS, and I'm even, I can, when I'm here, throw that out, run, and sort of make it hit some other people also, so that I make it in an angle on the way back. And if I've hit a few, it'll give me 2 free flashes every 15 seconds. Now 2 free flashes is the expensive spell that heals for 62,000. So getting that, a couple of that, explains my flash, that it's 29%, because I'm actually using those two heals free and instant. Boom, boom. He doesn't get that. Uh, he's, you know, whatever he gets by shielding, and I shield some too, a lot actually. But this just has a tendency to proc more than only using the shields, because you're actually healing. And you know, free flashes, awesome. So that it explains why I'm almost well, 10 above him. So what else have I done? If you look at my setup, I'm using Clarity of Will. That's the long, not the long. That's the Great Shield. That's also an awesome thing to have. Spirit Shell, of course. On the top words, I'm not really, you know, a Desperate Prayer is nice for self heal, but you know, if I use the Angelic Bulwark, I'd get an Absorb Shield, but then I'd probably have to heal myself afterwards. Whereas with this one, you know, I just get some more in. That's one of my reasons for success on this, and I beat even the one shaman. I would have hoped to go up to even the first shaman, but he just won on that fight. I was concentrating on beating the other priest. And on 5th place you've got the tank. So you know what's under 5th is other healers. Now I would say you'd need to beat the tank as a healer. I know the tank as a Death Knight is pretty awesome, but come on, it's almost as is like a DPS not beating the tank on DPS. He's not actually there to do the healing the tank, so you should be able to. Another little thing I've been asked about also is how do I earn gold? Now there's like an awesome way to do it, which doesn't require you to do anything. And of course, doing something makes you earn gold in this game. There's the people who do, and there's the people who don't. And I've been a guy that does a lot, but recently I've not really cared too much about doing stuff. I've only in this expansion done this. Right there is 130 gold. Now that's not much, but that's also a low quest. Then I just start this one. That's 180 plus 30. Sometimes you can get up to 2,000 gold. And of course, getting primals here, which you can use for enchants and sell, and these for raiding to trade with. And then of course these, if it's a level 100, you might get scrap with it, and one scrap bag could contain something awesome. Now of course right now I've not earned that much gold just by doing this, but then I have like 10-11 chars at 100 doing that, which will per login actually give me around 2,000 gold. And that's just if I'm not that lucky. That's the ship quest, 360 added on top of the other. And I get some oil here. Start one oil more. So what have I got? Not much. Doesn't matter. Sorcerer's Fire is actually good to get, if I could get that. And then of course just log in on all my other chars and do that, and as I said, that earns me about 2k per login. Now that if you get 2k every time you log in, that means almost, if you log in twice a day on all your chars, takes a maximum of 15 minutes only doing that. If you actually used your mats and sold it, you would get even more. You would, so it's quick and easy to make gold. And as I said, I started this expansion on, what was it, 440,000, and now ta-ta, total gold 1,525,000. So just doing that is awesome. Oh yeah, my gear level. My gear is not that great. It's 724 slash 725. But I'm, it doesn't need to be the best. If you're good, you can still beat people that are better geared than you, because you know the few details that makes you great. Even though healing is so much different from DPS, you work together as a healer, so it's not really like a race on healing. It's a cooperative thing. But even as we say that, we know that we'd like to be good on the list, that to show that we are actually working to do something. And I mean, you don't want to be the last guy, number 9. If you see, he's done 2.7% of all the healing, way under the tank. That to me looks like he's dead, and if he's dead, there's probably something he did wrong. Anyway, I think that was all I wanted to say about how I do some of my stuff. Of course, as a disc, by the way, I go for mastery, but most people know that. It's always enchanted mastery. As you can see, these boots here aren't really the best, and I've not upgraded them yet. There's no point in upgrading them. If I were to get the mythic, I would upgrade them. And of course, it's not saying there's no point, because it'll be better, but it feels like you just waste 1,000 or 500 valor, depending on your upgrade. If you start just upgrading willy-nilly on all the items that aren't really worth it, because you can get better. But of course, I've upgraded my staff. It's Warforged, heroic Warforged, and I'd need to go into a mythic raid in order to get a better one, and I don't think I'm getting into a mythic raid just now with the guild. And I'm not, as I said, too much, I don't care too much about that, getting the best stuff, because hey, going in and beating a better geared priest than me is, that's pretty much nice. Just outperforming somebody. And of course, you can always outperform those that are worse geared if if you're good. And so, yeah. Even I have, by the way, a few pointers which I need to take care of. Like, I've got a 15-button mouse, and I bound all my healing spells, but I still need to bind my well, I've bound it, but my leap of faith needs to be worked into my fingers so that I can pull people. you know, if they're about to die where they're standing, it's so nice to be able to pull them away from it. Again, in order to do that, you need to actually see the entire screen and know what's going on, and not just focus on your healing bars. And you know, as I said, I've been playing since Classic, so in the beginning I couldn't see anything. I never knew where to go in Molten Core, for example, because all I did was follow everybody else. I took care of the healing, I was top on that, but where I was, the textures of something, never seen it, because I just focused on my bars when I was playing, and being ready and stuff like that. Anyway, if I don't see you again, have a great new year. It'll soon be 2016, and yeah, I will, as I've said before, venture into Diablo also. Start a season character there with a mate of mine, hopefully, if he's still up for it. I haven't heard from him in a few days, but you know, it's bound to be happening. So, have a nice day, take care, and have a super Christmas. And yeah, hope to see you in the next video. That's all for from Ken Games today.